a collection of business owners who are passionate, in love, and nearly obsess over LSU football to come together as a group and start building what is, essentially, like we talked about with Woodward, a war chest. Now it's about going out and getting players. Woodward's war chest was he needed to buy out coaches. He needed to pay off buyouts at coaches that he was interested in, and he had to hire his guy. He's got that done. Now to compete in the 2021 edition of college football and that moving forward, you have to be relevant in the NIL space of recruiting. LSU had a really good day yesterday.
Yep.
They had a really solid day in recruiting, but they did not have as strong of a day as their competitors did, and I really do believe even with the coaching change, even the adversity that LSU had been through, if the administration was tightened up on an NIL standpoint where you've got the business relationships laid in and you can go to those guys or women and say, folks, we need a stash of cash that we can present to student athletes as working opportunities for your companies that we can commit to pay them X amount of dollars so we can stay relevant in these recruiting conversations that are going on inside the living rooms and inside of the facilities now. Yep. Because all of this stuff is being spoke about out loud in the living room now. Now Saban is walking in to Shaz Preston's living room and is saying, this is how we're going to pay you. This is the booster's name. Mom, if you have any questions, you can contact him. Dad, if you have any questions, you can contact her. This is going to be your contact of who Shaz is going to be working for while he's in Tuscaloosa. Here's when he's going to get paid. Yep. Here's how he's going to get paid. Here is the amount he's going to get paid. And oh, by the way, the business owner has a $200,000 cash bonus just for you, Mom and Dad, for him signing with the company. And that's how that works. And that's how Jimbo Fisher got 8 of the top 12 prospects in the composite 247 rankings yesterday. That's why Walter Nolan is going to hang out in College Station, Texas for the next 3 to 5 years. It's because they're paying him. They're paying him both above board legally, and they're paying him under the table still illegally. But they have a group of boosters that give so much of a damn about Texas A&M football that when Jimbo walks into the room, they go 6 to midnight in a snap, and they will do anything that he asks them to do. They got fat pockets, and they got no life. And I'm not saying that Louisiana is filled with those people, but the successful business owners that care about LSU, if you really want to stay relevant in college football in this day and age, you've got to have an NIL recruiting plan, not only to recruit the 4 and 5 stars coming out of high school, but to Eli Ricks, who's on your roster. You don't think that Alabama picked up the phone to Ricks when he said, I'm opting out or I'm sitting out the rest of the season in the middle of the year? You don't think a representative got into Eli Ricks' ear and said, what are you looking for? Well, I'm pissed off that Stingley's making X amount of money and I don't have any cash coming in for me on it. That's easy. We'll get you at the end of the year. We got an NIL plan set in place. We'll put you on a scale. It's probably tiered to what type of player they are. I mean, Bryce Young, Saban told a room full of Texas high school coaches last year going into the season at the Texas High School Football Coaches Association that Bryce Young's got $1 million on the books before he had taken a snap as a sophomore. He just won the Heisman. How much he going to make next year? Really? You don't think he got a raise?
This is the NFL free agency, dude. This is what it is. Marketing. That's what college football is trying. LSU needs someone to structure that business part of recruiting.
Why does it have to happen for them to realize that this was going to happen? Like, why did they wait so long? The writing was on the wall.
It's a great question. And
you go to New York City, you bring Livy Dunn out there, you do all of this for a show? Like, you didn't have a plan in place? You just did unveiling?
It's a great question. I don't know if they expected their competition to be this far advanced.
Alabama? Texas? You're in the big boy leagues. Like, what do you think they're going to do?
Well, they know now. They know now.
I hope it's not too late.
Well, I don't think it's too late in the sense of now you know the model and now you know how it's operating. Because don't think that Shaz isn't telling Brian Kelly, hey, man, Alabama came in here with a business plan for me that's going to roll out $150,000 a year that they're going to pay me for wear a hat to class. That's all I got to do. I got to post an Instagram story once a month saying that I get my lumber at this guy's lumber yard in Tuscaloosa and he's going to pay me $150K. I mean, it's as easy as that. You know, and I hate to throw things at people with money and just assume that things can happen, but you would think some of the players within the financial world behind LSU would look at this and say, hey, man, you think we've got access now? Let's build an NIL fund, and we'll probably run the place in 3 years.
And that may be the move.
It might be. I mean,
to get them started.
You know what gets people off in Louisiana.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People want to be seen. They want to be in the middle of it. They want to have a little bit of power. They want to have a little bit of say-so. I mean, you start giving some of these business people around the state of Louisiana who are uber successful that care and show off their business at LSU football games on Saturday nights. Hey, you really want access? You want to come see practice during the week? You want access to the field during the game, locker room, post game? I mean, you're not throwing this stuff out to everybody, but there's only a selected amount of people within this state that can really have this conversation. Because it's big, big money. It's millions, multi-million-dollar type deals that they're looking for just to stash away. So if you get into a bind in a conversation with a 5-star, 4-star guy, you got the money. We got the money. Texas A&M's offering me this. Cool, we can offer you that. So if you really love LSU, like Denver Harris says, it's his dream school. But don't think that Texas A&M doesn't hear. Look, Denver Harris is saying that he loves LSU. His stepdad was the point guard on the basketball team that went to the Final Four. I mean, we're in a bind here.
You don't think Jimbo texted him and said, hey, bro, you need to double that offer after walking into Tech's house and seeing all the stuff on the wall? Like, hey, this guy's not as solid to us as we think he is. We need to double that thing.
Yeah, we can offer him $150, and it's like, oh, but LSU hasn't even talked to him yet. No, much less offered him money or an NIL deal. They haven't even had a conversation with the guy yet. It's unbelievable.
And we're going to talk more about it. We got to get to Hutchkins.